Late last night, the cabinet approved the Qatari broker deal for the release of about 50 out of 240 hostages held by Hamas in Gaza in exchange for a multi-day ceasefire. The first stage of implementation could begin tomorrow. The cabinet vote was overwhelmingly in favor, with only 3 ministers from Otzma Yehudit voting against. Not all the details of the agreement have been formally released to the public, but the deal is expected to see the release of mostly women and children in groups of 12 to 13 per day. If more hostages are located by Hamas, the 4-day halt could be extended by another day or two. In exchange, Israel has agreed to a ceasefire for at least 4 days for the first time since the outbreak of the war. Israel has also agreed to release Palestinian women and minors from prison and let them return to their homes, mostly in Judea and Samaria and eastern Jerusalem. Hamas put the figure at 150. Israel also agreed to allow additional fuel into Gaza, as well as significant amounts of humanitarian aid. Hamas said that as part of the ceasefire, Israel will stop drone flights over southern Gaza during designated hours. IDF Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Herzi Halevi says the military pressure on Hamas was creating better conditions for the release of hostages, and the pressure will continue up until and immediately after the 4-day ceasefire. Visiting troops in the field ahead of the expected announcement of the ceasefire, Halevi said that the war would continue. The goals had not changed: dismantle Hamas and return the hostages. The IDF spokesman insisted that the temporary ceasefire in Gaza will not impact the Army's main goal of eliminating Hamas rule. The IDF has gained control of most, but not all, of northern Gaza, and clashes are ongoing to eliminate terrorist pockets of resistance. The challenge is to wrap up the fighting in the north and take defensive positions by the time the ceasefire takes effect. Hezbollah is indicating that during the ceasefire in Gaza, it may temporarily halt cross-border rocket fire into Israel. The fighting on the Lebanese border is ongoing. An Israeli drone strike killed 4 Hamas terrorists based in Lebanon. The strike occurred in the village of Khatia near the Mediterranean coast. Later, IDF reprisals struck several Hezbollah anti-tank missile squads in southern Lebanon and other sites in response to missile fire toward Metula. There have been more than 1,000 missile and rocket and drone attacks carried out by Hezbollah and allied Palestinian factions in Lebanon since the outbreak of Israel's war against Hamas in Gaza.
Experience the power of truth with ILTV News. If you're looking for quality content and captivating visuals, join our news community and become an integral part of our team as we embark on a mission to unveil the real Israel, dismantling the web of lies and misinformation that surround reporting on Israel. By subscribing to ILTV News, you will not only have access to the latest updates, but you will also amplify our message, creating a ripple effect that carries the truth far and wide. Subscribe today and help reshape the narrative. Available on the web, Android, and Apple.